You're watching Teach Me How to Cook. I am Diana Master. Now I'm not a stranger to Teach Me How to Cook, but usually I'm the sous chef, usually I'm helping out the main chef. But today I'm going to be flying this plane solo and I'm super excited. Now, on the menu today is a honey pepper chicken pasta. Yes, they had me at the honey. This was just a recipe that I came across as I was scrolling the internet like I usually do, and so I was curious to try this one out. I can tell you it's going to be creamy, it's going to be juicy, and most importantly it's going to be sweet and sour, just how I like it. Now, I haven't made this recipe before, so we're making everything together from scratch. We're learning everything together. We're gonna mess up, we're gonna fix it, whatever happens, happens, but I am super excited and I hope you are too. Right after this, I will be showing you all of the ingredients that we need, and of course some of them we couldn't find them as stated in the recipe, but we did find substitutes, so stick around. Welcome back, viewers, and let me tell you about all the ingredients that we need for this honey pepper chicken pasta. So of course, starting us strong, our pasta. I chose the penne rigate pasta, but you can also always choose whichever pasta you like, the pasta of you choosing. We can't have honey pepper chicken pasta without the chicken. I went for the chicken breast because I find chicken breast is always easier to maneuver and to work with. Some crushed garlic. Now the recipe does state that we need some soy sauce, but Worcestershire sauce works even better because it's got more flavor than the soy sauce, and it's actually a lot more affordable than the soy sauce, because in this economy we gotta say whatever we can. We do need some honey. We're only gonna use, I think, about 2 teaspoons for those. I will put all the measurements down. Some fresh cream. The recipe does call for heavy cream, but I could not find heavy cream. But fresh cream would still be a good substitute. We do need some butter. I didn't take out the cooking oil, but we do need some cooking oil for searing the chicken. Some black pepper. Now, the recipe calls for Parmesan cheese. I could not find Parmesan cheese, but if you can find Parmesan cheese, then that is absolutely amazing. If you can't, or you need a more affordable alternative, I suggest mixing white cheddar and mozzarella cheese. That will still give you that creaminess and that richness that Parmesan cheese brings about. You can always substitute with cheddar cheese, but I specifically chose white cheddar and the mozzarella. I'm going to mix both of those. Alrighty, so I will put all the measurements down there, but of course, here on Teach Me How to Cook, I do like to eyeball my ingredients. You know, it's an intuition thing. Like, you know, it feels just about right. We do need some salt. We have the pepper already. So what we're going to do first is we are going to start working on our pasta. Pasta is very easy, very simple, because it does take longer to cook. That's why we need to start with that. So what I like to do is, of course, bring my pot to the boil, put some water in there. I do like to salt my water. I don't like to salt my pasta when it's done cooking. So as soon as we are ready, I think we're ready to go. So I am going to wash my hands because safety first. It's always absolutely important for us to wash our hands first. I did wash them earlier with some soap, but for the sake of the camera, we do need to wash them again. Alrighty. So I am going to use, I think I'd rather use saucepan. I know who uses the saucepan to cook pasta. Me, okay? I am making the best of what I got. Now when it comes to pasta, I just like to drench my pasta in there. Okay. Some salt. Okay. Cool. And then what we're just going to do is we are going to bring that to the boil. Okay. And we'll put it in 6, the highest heat. Alright, so while that is cooking, we are going to prepare our chicken. Alright. That's our chicken breast. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I am going to wash my chicken breast. I like to wash my meat before I start working on it. I unfortunately don't have any paper towel with me at the moment. That would have made my life so much easier, because usually what you need to do after this is just pat it dry. Okay? Paper towel works best because there's no cross-contamination or whatever. The minute you're done patting it down, you can discard the paper towel. Alright? So I am just going to chop this up to just strips. Okay, so I've used 2 chicken breasts. Just going to chop these up. Now you can always cut them into cubes or into strips, whatever it is that you prefer. The thing with chicken breast though is the more you cook it, the more it starts to, I want to say shred. It becomes, yeah, it starts to shred. Okay, so how we do need to season this is with some salt and with some pepper. See why I like the big plate? The water is already starting to make the noises that I like to hear. Say that it is cooking. Alright, so we are going to split that up. And then we are going to use some pepper. If you have chili flakes, you can also use those to season. But I'm trying to make this also just a bit kid friendly, so that my daughter can have this with me as well. Okay, I don't want to make the pieces too small, because like I said, it will start tearing away naturally. Alright, so our chicken is prepped. Our water will be boiling soon, and then once that is done, we get to the next phase of our honey pepper chicken pasta. Right, so I just had to switch out the plates because this plate does get hotter faster, and we do need the oil to be on high heat. I don't know if you guys have the same problem as well, where once you put in your chicken, the water starts to come out. I don't know, maybe if it's because my oil wouldn't be hot enough, but I've always had this problem and I don't like it. I don't like when the water comes out of the chicken. But yeah, let's see what happens today when the oil is hot. It's on high heat. So the thing is, because we're only using 2 pots, is what I like about this recipe. It's just a 2-pot recipe. Not 2-pot, 2-pot recipe. So we are going to grill the chicken, or yeah, we are going to saute it in this pan. And then the minute that's done, we are going to prepare the sauce in the same pan. Okay. And the oil is into it nicely. Where's our chicken? You see how seasoned that is? Nicely seasoned. I'm already starting to smell the oil, so it wasn't as hot as I'd like it to be. Now this saucepan is supposed to be a non-stick, but she's been through a lot, okay? So usually when that happens, it would be best if you could spray a non-stick spray. I totally forgot about that part, but this will have to do for now. Alright, so we're just gonna let that simmer. I am going to bring up the heat just a tad bit, just to speed up the cooking process a bit more. I'm going to stir our pasta. Ooh, it's already smelling so good. And it's literally just salt and pepper. Yeah, salt and pepper is definitely a good mix. Because already it's smelling so good in here. Okay, our pasta is cooking. Alright, you know what? So long, while we wait for this, I am going to prepare the rest of the ingredients for the sauce. Okay, so we need 1 cup. I do have my measuring cups. Alright, so we need 1 cup of our fresh cream. Ooh, absolutely love fresh cream. Okay. Alright, so maybe I didn't bake this through. Yeah, I'm starting to believe I didn't bake this through. I should have just baked it just a bit more, but I'll let that sit. Some mozzarella. The cheddar is supposed to be grated, but because we are borrowing a kitchen, we don't have a grater, so we're going to see what we can do. I am going to wash this, considering we were working with chicken, so we do need to wash the board just to avoid some cross-contamination. Again, paper towel is a necessity in Dinah's kitchen, but this isn't. So, because we don't have that, it's okay. We make do with what we have. Okay, there's the white cheddar. Alright, so it is supposed to be half a cup of the Parmesan cheese. But because we don't have the Parmesan cheese, I am going to use the white cheddar and the mozzarella. Luckily for me, I bought the grated mozzarella already. So let's see. I'm going to cheat this. You know what you're thinking. But we have to make do with what we have, yeah? Chop it up finely. I'm going to chop this up a lot more. Okay. A little bit. I am going to use a bit more because this is nowhere near half a cup. Okay, let's just quickly check on our chicken. Sauteing nicely. We do want it to be nice and brown because you see it is still pink and very soft, so it's not cooked through yet. Okay. Did you know that this is why this is there? To hold your wooden spoon while you cook. This is my version of grating today. It will have to suffice. It will get the job done because the thing is, this is going to melt. Okay, so we do want them as fine as possible so that we just minimize the cook time. So now that we are preparing our sauce, we do need some butter. It's 1 tablespoon butter. Now the tablespoon you find in your house is actually not the accurate tablespoon, but for the sake of time and resources, we are just going to use this. Okay, so we melt the butter in there. And then we are going to add our crushed garlic. So we add 1 tablespoons of garlic. And we are going to saute that. Ooh. So we don't want to burn the garlic, we just want to saute it just a tiny little bit. Okay, that's cool. And to remove that, we do need 2 tablespoons of honey. 2 tablespoons of honey. Just going to stir that. It's giving a caramelized glaze. Okay. You see? So now it's caramelizing nicely. Just going to add just a tad bit more. I need just a tad bit. Okay. We stir that. As you can see, I have removed it from the heat because we don't want to burn anything. Okay. There's that glaze. Okay, now that it's thickened up, we are going to add in the heavy cream. To be careful here. Whee. Okay. Then we're going to let this simmer. So you see, simmering. Now because we are using what am I saying? Because we are using fresh cream and not the heavy cream, the consistency is going to be a bit more watery. But if you want to get it thicker, you can stir in some flour or some cornstarch. Okay, we don't have that on hand right now, so it's cool. We are just going to leave it as is. We're going to grab our pasta. Make sure all the water has been drained out of there. Okay, cool. Then we are just going to bring this over. We are going to add that in there. Okay, we are going to stir. And then we are going to add in the cheese. Stir that all in there. Mix it up. So as you can see, the mozzarella is already starting to melt and give that stretchy consistency. I'm going to bring down the heat just a bit more. Stir that in there. Ooh, it's melting nicely. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. I love me a cheesy dish. Look at that. So stretchy. Parmesan would have made it better, but we work with what we have here. Just get that off there. I do feel like I want to add a bit more cheese. Now the reason I prefer the white cheddar is because white cheddar gives us the flavor that is close to the Parmesan. Okay, the mozzarella, what it just does is give us the stretchiness. Okay, just going to put that in there. This up. Okay, just going to bring that back here. Stir it in a bit more. Okay, getting sticky. Just a bit more mozzarella. Ooh, look at that. And then of course I do want to dice up my chicken just a bit more because I don't want it too chunky. You see, it is cooked. Don't want it too chunky. So I'm going to add some more in there. You can shred it up if you want, but I am just going to chop it up just a little bit. Okay. This gives us more chicken. Okay, let me just move that there. Ooh. Look at all that cheesy goodness. Go back to our chicken. Okay, and then we are just going to transfer that to pots. And then we are going to stir that all up for that cheesy goodness. Ooh. Look at that. Look at all that cheese. Oh, that's some chicken. Then we need to do a taste test. Oh my gosh. Yes. Now I did forget something important. It called for parsley, just for seasoning, just to give it a bit of color, you know. Because we don't have parsley, it's okay. Fresh parsley, dry parsley, whatever parsley of your choice. This has been another exciting, delicious episode of Teach Me How to Cook. I am Diana Master. I do hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did bringing it to you. Do try this out. Let me know what you think of this honey pepper chicken pasta. Until next time, bye.